And like, I saw people on Twitter being like, oh, if you hate Navia, then we have a problem. And people are like, oh my god, people hate her? And the other person was like, yeah, people always have bullshit reasons to hate female characters. And it's like, listen, Navia is so pretty, and I am a huge lesbian, and she's a rebel, and she's everything I should like in a character. You know, first and foremost, she's a very pretty lady. So like, you have got to make some writing choices for me to dislike a character like Navia. I should like her. But it's just, you can't look at someone and be like, and just dictate. You have no right to dictate whether or not someone is being sincere purely because you don't hear it. Like, that's a huge problem I have with certain YouTubers who, like, observe body language, and so, like, this person is definite, like, okay, it's a channel actually called Observe. Yeah, he's fine, because he, like, is educational, right? And he's like, oh, you know, this is a thing that is called this and can mean this, and from the person's baseline, because in psychology, if you're looking at human behaviour, you have to understand a person's baseline before. You can't just, like, meet somebody for the first time and then be like, this emotion is not sincere, because that's not how it works. Navia clearly does not interact with Noviette enough to even remotely be able to be like, I don't think you're being sincere. It's ridiculous. So, but yeah, that's a huge problem I have with, like, true crime YouTubers who are like, I knew straight away that this person was lying. Did you though? Did you actually? Or do you think you knew straight away because you actually knew for a fact that they were lying because you also saw the evidence? Like, no, you don't. There's this one YouTuber I'm not going to name, but she's a true crime YouTuber, and I can't stand her. I used to love her, and then this one thing happened where basically this woman sort of set up this whole thing, and she was convincing to me. Well, so many people are like, well, I could tell just by looking at her she was lying. I could hear it in her voice. No, you couldn't. You just know that she was lying, and therefore you think you can tell that she's lying because you know that she was lying. But if you didn't know that she was lying, then I'm sorry, but no, you didn't. And this one person, the woman in question on the police tapes, she's like, come here. And then the true crime YouTuber is like, and even look how she's being. She's saying, like, come here. It's like, that's a completely different tone than that person used. What are you talking about? And so she reminds me too much of those people who look at videotapes of people they've never seen before and are like, oh yeah, you're lying because of XYZ. You don't know that. Like, sure, you can have sort of, you know, like, a reasonable examples of what certain expressions most often mean, but that doesn't mean that that's always the case. Like duping delight, for example. Just because somebody's smiling, it doesn't mean that they're lying. That's not always the case. Some people smile because they're awkward about it. Some people have, like, if I'm telling somebody some bad news, then I am doing it with an uncontrollable smile, and it is so annoying to me. But in any situation where I know that I'm not supposed to smile, I will smile. I am constantly having to sit with, like, my hand in front of my face at funerals because I'm sad, but I know for a fact that it would be very inappropriate to smile right now, and therefore I'm gonna smile. I might even laugh, and it's awful, but that's just how I express emotions in a way that they really shouldn't be expressed, but I do, and it's annoying, and I can't help it. But a lot of people might look at me for the first time and think, you're smiling. That's strange. Did you have something to do with it? What's wrong with you? Like, no, that's just how I express. And it's not, I don't mean to, but that's just how it works. And also if I'm grieving, I have to do it alone. Some people may have to do it with other people. Just because you don't see me upset doesn't mean that I'm not upset. I personally have a really hard time. Like, I grew up with the whole, oh, for God's sake, what are you crying about now? So, like, I grew up to not cry in front of people or not be upset in front of people. And so I have a hard time expressing negative emotions in front of people. And so you might think that I'm not sad about something, but I really, really am. I'm just very, very good at not looking like I'm sad. And there's so many different reasons. And like, why, you know, oh my god, I'm stuttering. That's how frustrated I am. It's like, Neviet, for example. Listen, we might not all know that he's the Hydro Dragon, because he totally is, but we all know he's not human, right? Like, we all know that. And so he would express emotions differently, even if he wasn't the Hydro Dragon, but just was not human. Because he'd have had a different experiences and different, dare I say, upbringing, and even if he was human, that still would count. And God, it's just the audacity to say to somebody who's not expressing emotion that you're not being sincere because I can't hear emotion in your voice. It's so... The situation reminds me so much of Harvey, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe that's why I'm getting extremely heated. Because you know, my two cousins, they're autistic, and when they're speaking, it may not sound as sincere, I suppose, than like other people might. But it doesn't mean they're not. Because I've spent time with my cousins, believe it or not, and I understand that, you know, even though they may, like, what they're saying may seem quote-unquote awkward to some people, or like jilted, or whatever, like scripted, rehearsed, whatever, doesn't mean it's not sincere. People can say sincere things and not have the emotional expression that you expect them to have. I'm so annoyed. I'm so angry. I'm still... like, I can't... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm not getting over it. I'm not letting it go. I don't let things go. Listen, Port Marian's website has changed. They may not have spoken to any of us who emailed, but it's changed. And I know that's because we harassed them about it. I don't let things go. So I'm sorry that every Fontaine video from now is gonna have me complaining about Navia. I am sorry. But that is just unfortunately how things are gonna go. I want to level somebody up for the fate. Not the shiny fate, it's the other fate. The standard fate. I want... Yeah. Yeah, okay, I can do that. Just let me calm down. Get a nice cup of tea or something. I think this is the last video. It feels like it's winding down now. Right. I've been told that Navia apologises. And I'm willing to listen to this apology. And I'm not going to shoot her down immediately for it. But it had better be good. Is all I'm saying. Because, like... There's so much wrong with the things that she said, and I'm not letting it go. I will let it go if she grows as a person and she has a moment where she's like, oh, actually, wow, the things I said about Noviet to his face was very hurtful. I will apologise for these things specifically. I will go to him and I will apologise for saying that his words weren't sincere, because I have grown as a person and now I understand that actually emotions are more complicated than I thought they were. But I don't think that's going to happen. For some reason, I don't have faith that that's going to happen. Anyway, you don't want to sit and watch me just play around until I've calmed down. So, oh, deep breaths, deep breaths. Okay, so hang on. Let me change the party back. So we are going to the place.
We can help.
Right, yeah, we're going to the
Want me
place
to come along?
that we talked about last time. And we're going to the place that Maluz mentioned, that's it. And then we have a child to investigate. Okay. There is an easier way to get out of here than climbing this wall, isn't there? Is the wall difficult to climb? I can climb that. No, the top's going to get me, isn't it? Oh, there's a bloody... No, there isn't a ceiling. It's fine. I am going to get... Yeah, I'm stuck here. Okay, I'll use the bloody entrance and exit like a normal person, like a normal boring person. I haven't found any, like, chests hiding around here. There must be, surely, right? There's always chests hiding about in the main places. How do I get out? What? How do I get out? Help, I'm trapped in Fontaine.
La la la.
Oh my god, it's like Archon, the German city of Archon. Yeah, we could not get out of there. We could not figure it out. We got stuck. Because it was all like one-way systems and everything. And like... Yeah, we're just driving round and round and we couldn't get out. As opposed to Cardiff that wouldn't let us in. I love the swimming mechanics in this. It's so nice. I love it. Because I feel like underwater stuff is so hard to get right, but they absolutely nailed it. Fontaine has got to be my favourite place now.
According to Maluz's info, the synth production base is underwater.
I was just underwater.
Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Okay. You could have told me that while I was already underwater, Paimon. Whee! Yay! Oh, I love it. I love it. This is so weird, but I used to try and find, like, swimming simulators and stuff. When I was a child, I used to try and find swimming games and never could find a good one. I just wanted open world swimming, exploring, and I finally have it, and I'm so happy. And I need a thing. I need that chest. Thank you very much. Thank you. There's got to be a thing whose power I can steal, right? Sorry, Paimon, I'm getting distracted. There it is. Okay, bear with me. Just bear with me, Paimon. I mean, this isn't time sensitive, right? They'll never see us coming anyway. I'll lose that chest. Come on, let me have it. Let me have it. Let me have it! Thank you. Where did the chest go? Okay, remember that thing I said about how I'll lose the chest? Yeah. Okay, I took you. No, I didn't take you. Shit. So... Where did it go? It's over there. I found it. I knew all along that it was there. It's fine. It's so nice and relaxing after the god-awful bloody... I'm so sorry, sweetie pie. Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry, you're so cute. Did I not even have to kill you? I didn't even have to kill you, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's nice and relaxing after getting frustrated. I can't let it go. I'm still frustrated. Okay, find the entrance. It's around about here. Oh. Thanks, Paimon.
Finally found it. Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Well, they don't want it to stand out. But I'm sure what we'll find inside will be extraordinary.
You're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms.
Yeah.
Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Meanwhile, inside the Opera Epicles, I need to put my phone down for a drink. I apologise for the noise you'll hear. Oh. Yeah, okay, what's going on inside the place? Thank you. Meanwhile, there's a blackout.
I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of.
Neither do I, sweetie.
However,
Neither do I.
I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
God's
In
sake.
which case, as long as I accept
Child,
the
stop.
charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
Oh my god.
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey, don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man. Huh? What's going on?
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Do it, please. I'm begging you.
Please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
Charge her.
We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
Hang on, you're dealing with this, Navia, not me. Okay, suspect analysis. Yeah, I didn't read this when I got it in the last video because I was distracted by the rendering on the door that we shouldn't have had to do because the door fitter was supposed to do it, but he insisted he wasn't supposed to do it. So, I'm not going to complain. The only thing I'm complaining about right now is Navia. Okay, I'm not going to get sidetracked. Okay, combining the information regarding the Gardamex and the investigation results so far, it can be concluded that there is only one person who could have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the synth business without leaving traces. This person is none other than Marcel.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabriere!
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court.
God,
Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial.
I want her to be charged for something so badly.
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabriere. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Okay, so on the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabaret. I'm not going to remember that. Okay, well that's true, right? During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. According to the investigations, Callus, who had a motive to kill, murdered Jacques for his betrayal, but is that really true? Thorn, the advisor of the Spina di Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus. Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out.
Something's not...
Fair dues. Not that. Ah yes, Callus's family believes that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Callus. Did Callus act in self-defense, or was there more to the incident?
The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin.
Jacques' request. Jacques decided to give up his assassination plan and sought protection from Callus instead. The scene of the crime. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance Jacques laid dead from a gunshot wound. Based on the investigations done then, there was no possibility that anyone else could have done the deed and escaped, and Callus was thus adjudged to have been the culprit. After conducting a reinvestigation, it is now certain that Callus did not bring a gun with him. Moreover, details of the case point towards the possible existence of a third person on scene. So, is that the did not carry a gun? Damn it, okay. Clothing of an unknown person.
This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. This deduction is based on the circumstances where there is no third person on the scene, but it turns out that there is a method that can cleverly cover up the killer's tracks. Primordial seawater, yeah. So based on the information gathered from Linny's case, water from the primordial sea seems to have the power to dissolve people from Fontaine.
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine 2 things. 1, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callis explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
Who'd have believed him,
I thought
though?
about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had
I
no
apologize for the
guarantee that
noises, by the
going
way.
forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callis was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callis never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Lenny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Not much you can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson.
Yeah, you've got to be careful how you speak to
Do you know what the biggest
Navia,
flaw in your reasoning is?
or she'll insist you don't have real emotions.
Anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
That's embarrassing.
I apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
That's embarrassing.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
A little while earlier at the entrance to the synth production base. Are we back to us now, or...? You can't end on a cliffhanger like that. I need to know what she was planning. Okay, I apologise for noises in the background. It's Oh my god, it's 11:30. How is it 11:30 in the morning? In the day? Anyway, I'm doing like stuff while the dialogue's going and I don't have to click anything, so I apologise for that. I have like a lot of dry skin from having been unwell and like malnourished and everything for like a month, so I'm trying to deal with that now. Door of Resurrection, okay. We're in a domain, of course we are. I definitely did not give Clea enough credit. She is so powerful. How do I ever deal with her not being in my party? She's a little chaos gremlin.
The floor is going up.
Yay.
Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
You've been in a lift before, Paimon. Oh my god, it's like the deep. Ah, I love it. Oh, I love it when you've got fish just going around. Oh my god. I wish I could figure out how to do this in Planet Zoo. I need to get back to playing Planet Zoo. I want like an aquarium that you can walk through. Do you even like...
Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Are there aquariums in Planet Zoo? I hope so. Have I done a video of Planet Zoo yet? I want to. Okay, I assume we have to go underwater. Because otherwise, why would it be here? And I assume I have to get you, otherwise why would you be here? Aha! You, hi. Oh, I love the sound of being underwater, listen! Oh, it's beautiful! I want to go swimming again. How it works with an assistance dog is that they can come into, well, legally they are allowed to, you know, come in with you and everything, but obviously they can't actually go in the pool, so they'd have to, like, you know, sit on the edge, which a fully trained assistance dog would obviously be able to do. And I wouldn't have that issue with Fur because for some reason, even though being half poodle and half Labrador, she does not like water. Okay, so... Oh, okay, right. God, so do people have to do this every time they come here? Like, all the workers and everything. Thanks, Paimon. I did not understand that.
Ways away from where we need to go.
I'm glad you're here, Paimon. I never would have known to swim upwards. I don't want to kill the robot dogs.
Into the wind.
They're cute. They did nothing. I'm sorry, sweetie pies.
The wind knows me.
Jumpy Dumpty go!
Surrender. Into the wind.
Pew. Do Critically.
The birds call. The wind knows me.
Oh, hi.
The doctor will see you now.
Thank you.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Aww. Paimon, you're so cute. Oh, this entire place is gorgeous. Yeah, I am meant to go down here. Oh my god, you could really hurt yourself here. Oh, I love it. Oh my god. Oh. Maybe there's a mod for Planet Zoo aquariums, or maybe there's like an add-on. I don't know. I need it. I need one though. I need to make an aquarium so you can just walk in. Can you walk around? I wish you could walk around first person in Planet Zoo if you can't, like Sims. I wish you could just make a zoo and then be a patron and just walk around your zoo. I wish. Oh god, are you all gonna fall apart when I walk on you? I don't trust this. Oh no, you're fine. Okay, thank you. Hi.
Seems like an emergency.
Through me, justice is served. Your penance is due. Guilty. Your penance is due. Futile.
Whee! Oh. I always get spooked when I fall off things. I throw myself off things.
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
If I'm not mistaken, he's being charged by Navia as we speak. Watch somebody else come out now.
Hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the Opera House and help Navia.
To be clear, I am helping child, not Navia.
What's all this? Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things.
Aww.
Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
There's a name too.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names?
This is weird and creepy and weird. They probably belonged to the victims.
Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here? And then they were turned into water. And all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible.
Oh. No, I want to read it. I want to read that. Damn it. No, hang on. If I click that and then click this, I can cannot find it. I can find it. Yeah. The missing person's possessions. You discovered objects within the containers labelled with the names of those who owned them. Within the depths of the HQ, the names here must have something to do with the victims in the serial disappearances case. This might be proof that this was their final stop. Oh, somebody hug Paimon. She's sad. Paimon shouldn't be allowed to be sad. Examine bookshelf.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him.
It's probably related to his and Jacques' case.
Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it. This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Is there anything else?
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
They planned this well in advance.
They're all just so evil.
I don't like you investigating this with Paimon. It makes her sad. Callus' investigation reports clues containing the Callus case that were found inside the bookshelf. The mastermind did not believe that Jacques would do the deed, and thus sent a third party to ensure Callus' death. The content that followed also defined the culprit's motive to some extent. Okay. Paimon is too pure and precious for this. Examine pool. Oh god, is this where all the people are?
Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water.
That must be water from the primordial sea.
That means this is where they make all the synth, and that special water is the main ingredient. If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
The pool found within the HQ is filled with water from the primordial sea. The mastermind can use this to create synth and directly use it to dissolve people. Experiment table.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
This is absolutely breaking my heart, Paimon. He's okay.
Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before.
It's okay, sweetie.
Someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone. You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
Aww. The goal of the researcher is to save his lover, a woman called Vinia Shaw, who was dissolved.
So that's why he did all of these experiments. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
There's another name here, Vache.
Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
No, he is the researcher.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
Yeah, he signed off on a bunch of the experiment records. The voice I heard from the fountain was probably Vinier.
So that's it! Vacher was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water?
There must be more to this than meets the eye.
In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Thanks to Ace Detective Paimon. You're doing wonderfully, sweetie pie. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea, and uses theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, 24 were dissolved. There are many more records like these. Last one, I think? Examine bottles of, I assume, primordial seawater. Or synth.
Synth here, and so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea.
There are so many.
Mixing in progress, ready to drink, stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synth pretty clearly labeled. Whoa, there's even fruit-flavored synth?
Well, that definitely proves that this is where they produce synth.
It's super obvious.
Synth, a popular potion circulating quite widely. It gives the drinker a very pleasant experience for a short time, but its side effects are equally strong. The producer uses these special characteristics to earn a massive profit from his trade.
We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were spot on. But...
Who really is this Vacher?
yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit.
Clever, but maybe not clever enough. Let's look again.
Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
Look for clues related to Vacher. Miscellaneous objects.
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure. Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Paimon, I found it.
Oh, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vacher's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
Take a look at this page. She made a list of baby names.
So
Oh,
many! A whole page's worth! But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them? The final name she decided on was... Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vacher and Vinier's grown son?
I figured it out. Let's go, Paimon.
Hey! Paimon still hasn't figured it out yet.
Oh, you can figure it out. I believe in you. Vinier's notebook. A notebook belonging to a lady named Vinier. She records many stories of her time with her lover Vacher. On one of these pages, she prepared many names for their future child, and the name she settled on in the end was Marcel. After obtaining the final piece of key evidence, you race back to the Opera Epiclese.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
He's so
It's all right,
tired,
Mr.
bless him.
Neuvillette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
Let him grumble, for God's sake. You say you've never heard of Vacher? The diary?
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything.
I love that Lumine has voice lines here.
Dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go! I can't follow! So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignier. Our promise. We made a promise. Vignere. Please, Vignere. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case.
Never let
The man now known as
how was I
Marcel
supposed to
was
read
originally
that?
named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignere. During an underwater expedition, Vignere accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignere back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves!
I think I know what comes next.
Are you okay?
I think I know what comes next, and I'm really excited to actually see it. Because I've been told, but I haven't. I've been so good with not looking at things. Yeah, okay, I don't care.
Absolutely brilliant.
I truly don't care.
Our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to, so if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Ugh, what now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Absolutely no.
Presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
How?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
Sabotage.
Have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
Yeah, what is going on? Oh, is this gonna end on like a cliffhanger where we have absolutely no idea what's going on? And we're gonna have to wait until the next update. I'm almost certain that's what's gonna happen.
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict.
I demand a retrial.
Please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
Oh, he's so not happy about that. Nervalet, he's so not happy about the result. Oh my god, this has got to be
This is
it!
how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Oh my god. Oh, the music! Oh my god. I knew that was gonna happen, but I'm still...
If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Oh, I'm still shaken. I knew that was gonna happen, but still... I didn't know. He actually landed a blow on Noviette. That was oh my god, that was amazing.
Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Also, are you okay?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court. All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
God, if even the Chief Justice doesn't know, we have no choice but to ask the Archon herself.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice? My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me you thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However,
She's doing
given the
damage
state
control,
of things,
Paimon.
I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea.
He's so tired. He's so tired of Farina. That's so funny. I really love their dynamic. I'm struggling to get sentences out at the moment. I'm having a bit of a foggy day. But yeah. Oh, I love them. Way to pull the rug out from under her.
However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now.
His voice is so calming.
After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
True, but you'd want him to go to prison for, like, the right things.
Oh, Monsieur Nervalette! That power you showed when you took him down. Who are you really?
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
No, Viet, you don't even have a vision. We all know. We all know. Mr. Chief, not a dragon justice. Okay, let's leave the opera house. Ah. Actually, I've been recording for an hour. I think I should stop and start again. Bear with me. Da, da, da. I want to hang out with Neviette more.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Who? Oh.
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Hi.
Marcel! What are you doing over
How did you escape them?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Oh, he's so nice.
Thank you.
That was so soft.
I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Yeah, he should know.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Yes, I met her.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it?
It was around the fountain of Lucine, something to do with my sensitivity to the hydro element.
The fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
You ask because you're not a human, and we all know it.
Very well. I will grant your request.
Oh, he's so nice.
Your Honor, I fear that...
He's such a nice person.
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
He's such a nice person.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
God, this is like when I was playing through Baiju's quest and I was getting I was genuinely crying because he's nice. That probably says a lot about me, to be honest. But he's such a nice person.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How dare Navi speak to him like that? After everything he's doing now. Bring him to the Fountain Plaza. Outing with the Hydro Dragon. Yay. Should I make a video about making Furfur's new assistance vests? I think I will. Would you like that Furfur Sweetie Pie? Sweetie Poo? I call her Sweetie Poo because she's a labradoodle. She's half poodle. But then I've started calling everyone Sweetie Poo. That's just who everyone is now. Everyone's a Sweetie Poo.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Back then, I drank water from the primordial sea. Which you did as well, I think, technically, because you drank synth just then. So, you should be sensitive as well, I assume. It heightened my sensitivity to the hydro element.
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the
Yeah, so you can see her.
Oh, in that case...
Oh, I hope so.
Vache.
Did he hear her? You heard her! Yes!
Yes, that's it. So you heard it too.
Yes, I'm being sympathetic to a serial killer.
It's me, Vache.
He still deserves to go to prison. I'm not saying he doesn't.
I'm here. Where are you, Vignier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
I have a feeling something horrible's going to happen and he's going to die.
Me, Vache.
Why do I think he's going to die? He has death flags.
Vache, why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vignere, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
This is not how I
Wait, you are not Vignere. Who are you?
expected this to go.
You're right. I am not Vignere. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vignere.
Why? But then, where is Vignere?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignere's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignere's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
God, this is brutal. I love it. It looks like I didn't meet Vignere back there either. They must have wanted me to lure Marcel here from the very beginning.
No! Vignere! She can't hate me. Let me see her. Please, have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignere. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
He is gonna die, I knew it.
Vache. 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 Vache.
Kill him! Get him! That's terrifying, actually. Oh, that was horrifying. I love it. Yeah, I'm not gonna have time to read that, am I? I didn't think so. Several days later, okay. Do we not have an immediate reaction? Well, I suppose we did, but I didn't have time to read it. Something about the guards and Marcel, that's all I saw.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Okay, two things. One, I swear when it went like to a black screen with text on it, when it was that much text, I'm sure it used to be that it stayed until you clicked on it, but now it just goes so fast that you do not have time to read what's going on. Secondly, oh, it's raining. He's sad. I don't like it when he's sad. I'm gonna cry. Shopping is stressful in its own way, though. My legs are killing me. Oh my god, yeah, I have to go shopping at the weekend, this weekend, for some stuff for the house. And I'm looking forward to it, but also I'm dreading if I'm going to a shop that's, like, following me on Twitter. Matalan's following me on Twitter. Because we had, like, an amazing experience with Fura there, where they had a fire drill. I'm going to put my phone down so I can have a drink. They were going to have a fire drill. And so somebody came up to me and asked, said, we're going to have a fire drill in a few minutes. Is she going to be okay? To which I said, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for letting me know. And she was. She doesn't care about noise. I mean, labradoodles, I suppose, are part of Gundog, really. She doesn't care about sudden noises. She goes to the footy all the time, she's good at it. She didn't even react, which I thought was incredible. I expected at least a reaction. I expected her to, respond to it in some way before then settling down, but she really did not care, and that was amazing. And I'm really grateful for two things. One, that we had that experience, because that was a brilliant exposure thing to have had that I really don't see a way that could have been planned, because that was brilliant. And two, I just love that, especially since this happened after Portmeirion, so all of my confidence was gone. This was actually on my birthday, so the day after, 2 days after Portmeirion, I think. But yeah, no, I was really anxious to go places again. After that experience, it really knocks my confidence quite a bit. So to have, then at first I saw a woman come in with a clipboard and I thought, shit, she's going to kick me out for no reason, because she's a perfectly trained assistant stock. She's a fully trained assistant stock. She wasn't doing anything, but I was just really paranoid. But yeah, then it was just, we have a fire alarm scheduled. So I tweeted about it, because I'd been, up in arms on Twitter about Portmeirion. A month later, had no response. I'm annoyed. But because I talk a lot about the bad experiences, but I also wanted to talk about the good experiences. And so I think there's a lot of value in publicly saying when you've had a really good experience. So I tweeted to Matalan saying, I just have to say that I had an absolutely wonderful experience there with my assistant's dog, after somebody came and asked about a fire alarm, explained the situation, and I just thanked them for the interaction. Basically, I thanked them for the experience, and then they responded and said that they'd pass the message on, and then they followed me, and they're still following me, and that's great. And I feel such a sense of loyalty now to Matalan, I suppose. So at any point, if there's anything I can get from Matalan, then that's where I'm going. That's my new favourite shop now. And I'll do the same with Superdrug, because I went to just Superdrug as well. That was the first place. Sorry, I'm completely rambling about personal stuff now, but Superdrug was the first place I went to after the experience I put Marion, and I was absolutely scared shitless. I was having my first panic attack in over a year. Ever since starting and settling on Search Theme, I had not had a panic attack at all until going into Superdrug, because again I was absolutely terrified after the experience with Portmeirion. I was thinking, oh my god, I can never go anywhere again, this was a mistake, I never should have had an assistance dog, this just makes things even more complicated, I can never leave the house ever again. And we went in and it was absolutely perfect and absolutely fine, and then when we got there to the the checkout, the woman on the checkout said, I'm not gonna even look at her, but I just have to say that your dog is adorable or something like that. And then all of my anxiety was just blown away, and I was like, oh my god, thank you so much, you have no idea, because she said something about how she bets I'll think that she's like a crazy dog lady or something, and I said, God no, I'm so grateful for you having said something, because God, I had this awful experience somewhere else the other day, and I was absolutely terrified to come in here, so having I basically thanked her again, and I thanked them again on Twitter. I don't want it to seem like I only complain about places after the debacle of Port Marion, because I really love positive feedback. Why am I even talking about this? Oh, shopping. Yes. So I have to go to Matalan, and this will be the first shop that Fuafua has been in a month because I've been unwell. So I don't expect her to be perfect, but it's not like she's gonna, do anything bad, but I wonder how it's gonna go. I'm gonna film the experience and see how it is. I was, completely on me for not having been able to do anything for a month. She's still been, working and everything. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Last thing before I continue, I'm so sorry. Nobody gives a shit, I'm sure. Oh, what was I saying? Yeah, okay, so I was at my auntie's and I was demonstrating stuff that Fuafua can do for me. My dad put my med bag on the floor and I asked her to go and get it. Her work vest was next to me. So she went, so I said, get me. I can't say it or she will actually get it now because she's next to me. Or maybe she won't because she's not wearing a vest. I don't know. I said, get me tablets. Yeah, it doesn't give a crap. We need to work on that, don't we? So I said, get me tablets. So she went to my med bag, tapped it with her nose, then whipped round, came back to me, tapped her work vest with her nose, and then left and continued doing her own thing. As if to say, no, I'm not doing anything for you because I'm not working. And then, like, 2 days later we went to Cleethorpes and I asked her to get my shoes, which, like, I was sitting on the end of the bed, the shoes were there next to my feet, but I needed to pick them up. I can't remember why. But obviously I couldn't reach them because they were on the floor, and despite DWP belief, I actually cannot bend down and pick things up. So I asked her to get them, and she wouldn't, so I picked up her vest, held it against her, didn't even put it on, I just, like, pressed it on her back, and asked her again, and she did it. And so, she has now learned, because the point is that if she wears the vest, she's working. And she grasps that perfectly, but I think it's just recently occurred to her that means that if she's not wearing her vest, that she's not working, and therefore she doesn't have to do things for me. But I don't want to have her vested all day at home in case I need her to open a door or something. Oh, that's something we really have to work on. Maybe I can. It's fine. And then just take it off to have breaks. That's what we're going to have to do, isn't it? She gets really excited when she sees her work vest. She clearly enjoys it, but she's also very lazy. Anyway, Lumine and Paimon. We're shopping with Lumine and Paimon, and I did not have a drink, did I? I need one.
Well met, partner.
Ugh.
I knew something great was going to
I knew I
happen
was
when
procrastinating for some reason.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
Good for her.
Pleasure to see you both again.
I'm glad. Hi, Silver. You're sweet. I like you.
Paimon's already started to miss you.
I haven't.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
You are not easy to work with.
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the court since then.
Oh.
Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though,
Do you mind if I eat while we talk to
and
Navia?
even many people from the court
I need my
all
lunch.
attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago.
Things turned out as well as they could have.
By the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service.
Oh, Charlotte, how is she?
Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer.
How is she doing?
The story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Thank you.
Now that's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better terms now?
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf.
I have seen people ship those two, and I did not understand why. But now I understand why.
It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time. So we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him to this day. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
Can I come too for some reason?
We want to go too.
Oh, hello.
I think Callus is a really admirable person.
Hello, Furfur, sweetie baby darling.
I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all,
Well, you tapping
without
for
you,
Dad.
there might
What's the
not have
matter?
been such a positive ending.
Does that me finish the
In
scene?
that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now.
Oh no! He's sad. He's so sad. Hello. Hello. Mwah. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
This is where my father's grave is.
Mwah.
To be perfectly honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait. That figure. It can't be.
Never yet. I know they talk again. Yeah!
Why would the Chief Justice be here?
Come here. Watch Neviette with me.
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
No, anyone can
Don't
come and pay
say
the
that.
respects. It's fine.
Sorry about that.
Oh!
I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize.
Oh, he uncontrollably apologizes. My God. God, I identify with him so much. Oh, bless him.
Don't say that.
He is sad. He's so sad. Hello.
It's been raining non-stop for a few days now.
Hello. 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 Hello Don't apologise.
I wanted to show my father how much I've grown.
I was expecting him to apologise again.
Point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologise to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
Bless him.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Oh, you could do some pointers of understanding emotion in general, Navia.
In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway?
I've also seen people shipping these two. I mean, everyone ships everyone, let's be honest. But, like, I'm sorry. But that would be so toxic. I never want these two in the same room again, never mind in a relationship. Just as a tip, people, if somebody dismisses the way that you emote or don't, then please don't start a relationship with them. Because even if that's, like I said, there are lines that should not be crossed, and that is a line that should not be crossed, in my personal opinion. And it doesn't matter, like, how a person may grow and stuff. If they are somebody whose instinct is to claim that, like, oh, you're not emoting the way I do, therefore you have no feelings. Like, how can you ever trust that person again? You know, just ew, I'm sorry. I'm not usually one to judge ships, but that's so toxic.
There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong.
Also, like my friend commented, would that Callus set out to die, would he have accepted you stopping the duel? I don't think he would.
If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself.
I'm gonna cry.
You asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner.
Oh, this is killing me.
This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days.
Oh.
That high and mighty chair in the opera epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before.
And there's more for you to apologise about than just being mad. I hope this apology continues.
So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Yeah, okay, so are you going to continue apologising, or...?
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
You have nothing to apologise for. Okay, that's okay. It's okay if you can't self-express. She's the one who should be apologising for judging you for that.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
No, but you need to apologise more than you have. I'm sorry, that's not good enough.
So Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace as well.
Is that it? Is that all she's gonna say as an apology? That's stupid! That's terrible. I'm sorry. That's awful. That is the second worst apology of the year. I'm sorry. Say more than that, Navia. That was a pathetic excuse. That was a pathetic attempt of an apology. You weren't even... If you can't even, like, name what it is you should be apologetic for, then that's bad, okay? Yeah, she apologized. That's not good enough. Apologize. But, like, she did. I'm sorry for being mad at you. So you're one of those types who is cold on the outside but thoughtful on the inside. So she acknowledges. So you should be apologising for that specifically, not saying I'm sorry for being mad at you. That's not enough. That's not good enough. I don't believe you.
Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done.
Following Navia and Noviette, you also pay your respects to Callus. Yeah, because if we didn't wait, I'd have some choice words to say to Navia.
Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there?
Well, you're not usually supposed to fly around someone's grave. I don't want to say that. Paimon, you did great.
Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad.
Wow, she took it seriously. Don't taunt Paimon, you mean.
Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk
Yes,
to
please.
Elena, we can at least talk to him, right?
I assume the story's wrapping up now, then. Can we talk to Navia? I don't want to talk to Navia, but I want to have done everything, so...
Paimon's really sorry, Navia, but Paimon did something pretty disrespectful just now.
Oh, no, you didn't.
What are you saying, Paimon? I don't think I get it.
Well, aren't you not supposed to fly around someone's grave?
Huh? Who told you that?
Hey, Traveler! Why did you mess with Paimon again?
Okay, I'm glad I talked to Navia just to clear things with Paimon. Hi. Hi, sweetheart. It's stopped raining now, so are you feeling better?
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
We invited ourselves.
So we just followed her here.
I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
So was that scene the one then where Ray, not a dragon chase, was like, oh, I understand him so much better now. Can I like go back and redo like all of my lines? Is that all right? Was that it? He's amazing for that, by the way. I respect him so much for that.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
About water from the primordial sea. Yeah, this is the wrapping up thing of...
From the primordial sea, but what is it really?
Of the story. This happens all the time at the end of the story, doesn't it? We get to talk to somebody and we're like, about such and such, and then eventually then we say, no, there's nothing else to ask, and then we leave, and then that's the end of the story. I know how this goes by now.
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vache discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But if that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine, dissolve in that kind of water?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
About the prophecy that has been circulating around Fontaine.
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good.
Yeah, that old
Does
one.
that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
Yes.
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow. This is the first time that we've ever heard of it.
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Is that a no, we don't trust her? Okay, about Child.
My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
So when Linny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede.
Are we going there next update?
If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Okay, no response to that, okay. He would be so uninterested. About my sibling.
Your sibling? Another blonde-haired traveler? I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If he ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure he followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epicles. Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
I have no more questions. Do you want to go out, Sweetie Poo? We can go out after this.
Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you.
Me
It will
to.
soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memoria.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
All right, you've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
Yeah, are you feeling better, sweetie? I knew it. That's it. Oh. Oh, I loved that so much. Oh, that's cute. Look at them. No. Okay, yeah, so let me do the things that I need to do.
These bombs, so heavy.
Oh, yeah. I'm still annoyed with Navia. I think her apology was not good enough. Her apology should have been a bit more thorough, a bit more specific, because it's not about getting angry, it's about the things that she said and the things that she implied, which are not okay to say and imply, and it's that I need her to fully understand why the things she said in that interaction were not okay. Just, I'm sorry for getting angry with you is a bit not enough. How many of these do I have now? 50. Ooh, just a few more, and I am guaranteed the next 5-star, which is gonna be Neuvillette. I've decided I don't think I'm prepared to risk.
So heavy.
I don't know, because I'm not that far into pity. But if I get an early 5-star, then I'm definitely not going to be able to save up enough to guarantee Neuvillette, and I'm not prepared to do that. And Feminate will come back around eventually, right? Yeah? It makes me way too nervous. Yay! Okay, so if we go to Catherine now, then does that mean that I can start doing commissions in Fontaine? And I need to find, I assume, the bounty and requests person as well. Surely there's one of those in Fontaine. It's Catherine again. This one must be a puppet too. Perhaps there shouldn't be another possibility. Is there something I can help you with? Are you looking to take on a commission or send one out? I'm just taking a look. I see. If you've run into any guild-related issues, you can come and ask me. I will provide the utmost service for you and answer all answerable questions. Then we thank you for your contributions to the guild adventure. We wish you smooth travels. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna switch. I want to do the Fontaine ones. Yay. Yes. Brilliant. Okay. I'm so happy. Where is there a quest and... not a quest, a request and bounty person in Fontaine? Why did I just do one? That's stupid of me. Oh, it refreshes so quickly. So soon. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here because you do not want to sit and watch me do all of these. So, bye-bye. Yeah, that's all I have to say, I suppose. See you next update.